just dropped Camille off. Camille is my car's name, if you haven't picked up on that already. We just dropped her off at the dealership where Sierra's dad pretty much is he's the boss man up there. But yeah, just dropped her off to get an oil change. Tonight I'll be driving to Lawrence, Kansas. I was hired as photographer and videographer for a show going on tonight out there. So gonna be doing that. Yeah, about to go get something to eat while we wait on Camille to get her oil changed. Yeah. What's going on, YouTube family? So I'm out here in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm photographer, videographer for the night. I'm out here chilling with my boys AL, my boy Corvon.
What's up?
Y'all seen AL in the vlog a few times at this point, but yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Alright, what's going on, YouTube family? Today we are mixing a record for Kodak Carter. He was here a couple days ago, as you guys saw in the last vlog, so we are knocking out that mix this morning. But yeah, it's kind of a pop R&B, new school R&B, if you want to call it that, type of record. And yeah, gonna go through the mix, so here we go. Alright, so yeah, just got everything routed. And as you can see, everything in yellow are my lead vocals. Then I have my doubles, my my main harmony, my mid harmony, and my high harmony. So got everything kind of organized here, and we're just mixing these vocals to this 2-track.
So baby, when I wake you up, just let me rock. Any way you want, I wish you were mine. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm loving you.
Alright, so what I'm doing right now, I just got all of my routing set up, and right now I'm just kind of going through Chris Brown's new album and listening to that, just getting getting in that type of zone, that type of mood, just kind of blasting that in the studio a little bit, so that way I get kind of used to a particular sound and I have a sense of direction that I'm going for with the mix.
Like telling how you I tend to see, baby, believe in what I wanna do. With no concern whether you hurt, that's what it's coming to.
Alright guys, so I've got the mix at a cool spot, so I want to walk you through the mix and show you what I've done here. So I like to start off with the lead vocal. Typically I'll go through and mute all of the different backgrounds and stacks and things like that, and I'll just loop like a certain spot of the lead vocal and start working from there. So what I've done to this lead, all of the tracks have the VCC from Slate Digital on them, set to the 4K, the SSL module, and then a little bit of auto-tune just holding Kodak in place. Then each of these yellow tracks are my leads. They're routed to the lead bus, and on the lead bus I have the mix bus version of the VCC, as well as the Revival plugin. Super dope plugin, just adding a little bit of top end there. Instead of EQing that in, it's more of like a harmonic distortion characteristic. So got that going on. We could truly get rid of this. It's really not doing anything, but cut out a little bit of low mids. Kodak, he's got a heavier voice. It kind of builds up in those low mids. So I've notched out about just under 4 dB, right around 300. and then a little bit of boxiness. I knocked that back about 2.5 dB, around 500. Um, with the L1, I tracked Kodak with the CL1B compressor, just through the Apollo Twin, and we had it set to a medium attack, medium release. So a lot of his, peaks ended up getting through the compressor. So I just knocked that back a little bit with the L1. So this is literally just catching the loud peaks of his vocal. Then we went with the SSL EQ, and what did we do here? We used the high pass filter, pretty heavily. Usually I stick to right around 100 hertz, but with this style of music, I don't know. I just feel like with new age R&B or pop, the vocals don't really have too much bottom end in them. So I kind of over exaggerated the high pass and then brought it back to a point where it felt good. So I landed at right around 150. And what else did we do? So we boosted 4.5K, about a dB and a half, and then boosted with a high shelf at 8K, another dB and a half. So just brightening up a little bit. Nothing drastic here, but mixing is really just a bunch of subtle moves that over time end up sounding like a finished record. So next I went with the C4. So I don't typically do this with every vocal, but again, Kodak has a heavier voice, and I find that cutting frequencies, in between 250 to 500 hertz, you're risking having that vocal sound thin. So, I felt like I had to cut quite a bit to get his vocal to a balanced place for me to start working on it. So I ended up using the C4 to kind of add some of that low mid back into his vocal without it getting too heavy. So this gives me the ability to control those frequencies rather than just notching him out and having him sound thin. So definitely feel free to copy my settings here. I really just went to the vocal preset and then just kind of tweaked it. I didn't really want it messing with the high mids, so I just bypassed that. And then I liked what it was doing on the high end. I kind of raised that band a little bit, so it's only affecting 12 point, where is it? About 12K and up, and added a little air to his vocal that I thought sounded cool. So yeah, again, this is my main point with this plugin, was just to control the low mids. Then I went with the 1176 from UAD, medium-ish attack, and then pretty fast release. I started with the fastest release, and it was kind of giving me a little bit too much distortion just because of how fast it was, so I backed it off just a little bit, and then finished with the R comp, almost set to like a limiter setting, but really liked how it was just kind of grabbing the vocal. I'm only doing like max maybe 2 to 3 dB gain reduction, and it's just got the vocal sitting there up front. My effects, I went with a reverb, a chorus effect that is barely, you can see that I've barely brought it in. It's more of a filling than something that you can hear, and a little bit of two different delays here. So I'm going to go ahead and play the lead vocal so you can hear how it's sounding so far, and all of the background vocals are muted.
Might tell a lie or two, not to deceive, but baby, believe that you can handle the truth. And I think it's selfish of me to do what I wanna do, with no concern of whether you're hurt, and that's what it's coming to.
So it's cool. You can see that the automation here is for that quarter note delay, and I'm using, for all of my delays, I'm using the Echo Boy plugin. So yeah, just really, if you're not familiar with writing automation, I just went to every area where I felt like that quarter note delay would sound good. And so for example, I'll delete this and show you. I kind of just select. So again, this verse 1, this track is feeding into the lead vocal bus. So I'm just highlighting this section and dragging this up to an area where I feel like will be the delay is at the right volume that I want. So
Might tell a liar too.
I'll bring in the doubles. There were doubles on the second half of the verse.
I like Nikki, she's way too picky. Still I can't let her go. You got Chantel, who looks so damn well, and it's hard to tell her no. And there's Stacy, she's a little bit crazy, but I'm hooked for sure.
And those are panned 33 to the left and 33 to the right. I used to be huge on panning everything like really, really wide, but I've found like, you know, with more modern mixes, it sounds like everything is more towards the center. And if I listen to older records, things are panned out, you know, wider. So, you know, just to, in my mind, going for a more modern sound on this record, I kept the pans, at least for the main doubles, closer to the center versus super far wide. Then for the main harmonies, as far as processing goes for these stacks and different background vocals, almost the same thing that's going on the lead vocal, except for I'm just cutting a little bit more bottom end. So this high pass filter is up around 182. Same L1. The EQ, I've actually, yeah, this is just doing another high pass filter. Really, I've backed off on the high frequency boost that I did on the lead vocal, just because I want that lead vocal to stand out and shine on its own. I don't want the background vocals to compete with it. And then same compression going on at the end. All right. And yeah, that's the same processing that I did on all of the background vocals. So I'm going to go ahead and bring all of those in and let you hear it roll into the hook.
I know it's on my phone. Truth is I love her more. Oh girl. And I know I should decide, but I can't make up my mind. I love her more. Oh girl. I can lie, but it's the truth. Gotta have my cake and eat it too. Cake and eat it too. Gotta have my cake and eat it too.
So the cake that you just heard is a vocal that Kodak did. And for that sound, all I did was throw the telephone effect on it, Decapitator, which is a harmonic distortion plugin, and then it's moving side to side with the Pan Man. All right, I'm gonna go to the end because he also did another ad-lib track, a typical like R&B, you know, the song is ending and you're gonna let loose a little bit. So I put that in that same distorted telephone sounding vocal as well.
Oh girl, and I know I should decide, but I can't make up my mind. I love her more. Oh girl, I can lie, but it's the truth, baby.
And just threw a lot of delay on it. So yeah, the mix has come together pretty well. Been working on this for about 2 hours now. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely ride around with it, see how I'm feeling about it, and probably touch it up again in the morning. But yeah, just kind of wanted to show you guys you know, how I do panning, how I do delay automation, and you know, just walk you through my process with a R&B, new age R&B, pop style record.
Crazy, but I'm hooked for sure, and I know it's on my phone. Truth is I love her more. Oh girl.